Be honest. Have you ever sat down to update your resume and then 10 minutes later found yourself watching cat videos on YouTube? Yeah, you're not alone. Updating your resume can be a pain in the butt, especially that professional summary section. Do you even need it? What do you say? How long should it be? If this sounds familiar, then this is the video for you, because I'm going to break down this small section, which can have a huge impact on you landing interviews. Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm here to take your job search from stressful to successful. I've broken down this video into 3 sections: the do's, the don'ts, and the up to yous. And make sure to stick around until the end where I share a standout summary. Let's start with the don'ts. Now, the first don't is don't write an objective statement. Now, an objective statement puts the focus on what you want and need. And a telltale sign of objective statements is the use of the word I. I am looking for a job as an accountant. I'm looking for a position at a Fortune 500 company where I can use my accounting skills. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. At this point in the hiring process, the company does not care about you. They don't even know you. They simply want to find the best fit for the position that they are looking to fill. So in your summary statement, you should put the focus on the benefits that you offer the employer rather than on what you are looking for. And the second don't is don't use generic words or phrases. And now I see these creep in all the time. Words and phrases like detail-oriented, go-getter, people person. What do those even mean at this point? They've just been so overused that they don't actually hold any value. And besides, what you consider detail-oriented, I might not. That is why you need to be specific. Let's take a look at detail-oriented. Now, this phrase can mean many things, but let's say you are an accountant and you are looking for a position. Well, you want to show specifically how you are detail-oriented. So let's expand this a bit and change it from detail-oriented to reconciled 150 monthly bank transactions, identifying and resolving discrepancies to maintain 100% accurate financial records. This is showing the detail, and this is what you want to focus on. If anybody else can use that word, then it's probably not a good descriptor of you. You want to show how you are detail-oriented. You want to show how you're a go-getter. You want to show how you're a people person. Cut the fluff when it comes to your professional summary and your resume as a whole. Remember, you need to be specific. And that leads me to my do's. But before we get to those, if you are feeling frustrated in your job search and you want to start landing more interviews and job offers, I do work one-on-one with job seekers. So just check out the link below to book your 60-minute strategy session. Now, moving on to the do's. The first do is you need to keep them reading. Think of your professional summary as a movie trailer. You watch the movie trailer to determine if you want to watch the movie. And the same can be said about your resume. The recruiters are reading that section to determine if they want to keep reading. And the best way to do that is to use specifics. Trust me, as a recruiter, we are so used to, like I said, those generic fluff words that mean nothing. But when we see tangible, real, concrete information, that's what sparks our interest. And so take this one, for example. Seasoned HR professional with over a decade of experience in the field. What does that really tell me? Not much. Now compare it to this one. HR generalist with 11 years of experience in benefits, recruiting, and employee relations, working in the nonprofit sector. This tells me the years of experience that you've had, what your title is, what your experience is in, the specific sector that you worked in. This is showing me something concrete. And when you do this, you want to make sure that you are aligning it to the job description. So in this case, I use the example of an HR generalist. As a generalist, you do a lot of different things. But if I look at the job description and it's telling me that they're looking for somebody with experience in benefits, in employee relations, in recruiting, then that's where I'm going to focus my energy when I write my summary, because I want them to see that I align with what they are looking for. And the next do is to showcase your highlights. Now, going back to the analogy of the movie trailer, when you watch a movie trailer, they're not showing you the boring parts of the movie. No, they're showing you the parts that are going to get your attention, the ones that are going to draw you in and say, I need to know more. And this is what you need to do with your summary section. You don't want to leave the good stuff at the end hoping that they get there. Let's say you are a senior recruiter and you worked for a well-known company 8 years ago where you were instrumental in scaling up their IT department. Now, do you just hope that they make it to that section on your resume? No, you put it front and center and you highlight it, adding something such as scaled ABC company's IT organization from 10 to 100 engineers in 5 years, building hiring processes that supported 90% plus retention across technical teams. Now, this is saying, if I could do it for them, then I can do it for you. And this is what you want to show. Now, on to the up to yous. And the first one is the title. There is not one specific way that you should title this. I've seen professional summary, career profile. Just make sure that it is professional, because the meat of it is going to be your description, not so much that title. And the next up to you is how you structure this section. Now, I will say I find most people use the paragraph structure, and I actually don't use that for me personally. What I like to do is I like to have a leading sentence and then follow it up with about 3 bullet points. And the reason I like this is because it just draws the eye a bit more and it's just easier to read. But ultimately, it is up to you. If you're going to use the paragraph format, then about 4 sentences is the sweet spot. But the same can be applied to if you use a bullet point format, because generally I like to start with 1 sentence followed by 3 bullet points. And regardless of the format that you use, that first sentence should be the main highlight. Your position, the years of experience, your different companies or industries that you've worked in, and then the following sentences should really show your unique impact. Now, here's an example of a standout summary section for all the right reasons. Senior technical recruiter with 10 plus years of experience recruiting technical talent across startups and Fortune 500 organizations. Scaled ABC company's IT department from 10 to 100 engineers in 5 years, building hiring processes that supported 90% plus retention across technical teams. Built a hiring pipeline supporting 30 plus concurrent openings, partnering with engineering leadership to reduce average time to fill from 75 days to 42 days. Developed sourcing strategies across LinkedIn, referrals, and technical communities, generating 500 plus qualified engineering candidates annually. And the reason this works is if you are applying for a technical recruiter role, you are hitting on all of the needs that they have, making sure that you are sourcing quality candidates, making sure that you are doing so in a timely manner, and making sure that you're able to work with other departments to come up with strategies to get the best talent. And that is what this section is doing. It is showing specifically why you are the best fit. Now, if you're like, this sounds great, but I still need help, let me know in the comments below. And if you're looking for a video to level up your resume bullet points, then check out my video here.